Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 kids with superpowers you won't believe exist. As kids, we all dreamed of having superpowers, but these are some kids which actually have superpowers. From starting fire with their hands to mind reading, these kids are amazing. Before we begin, be sure to check out my new channel, The Crafty. I just posted a new video, so if you go and comment saying you subscribe to it, I'll shout you out in the next Top 10s video. And while you're at it, why not subscribe to Top 10s too? Coming in at number 10 is X-ray vision. In 2012, the Western press picked up on this boy in China named Nong Yoshi and nicknamed him Cat Eyes. He was born with amazingly blue eyes, despite being in China where people's eyes are usually dark colored. Even more unusually, his parents have brown and black eyes, as do his grandparents. His eyes are in fact so bright that when a bright light is shone on them, they turn green. So it's cool he has these flashy looking eyes, but that's not really a superpower. No, his superpower is far cooler, and that's that he can see perfectly in total darkness. While he struggles to see in very bright light, he can see night as if it were daytime. When he was a baby, his parents were concerned about his eyes, so they took him to a doctor who said it was something he would grow out of. However, he's now 12 years old and still has these amazing eyes. The boy is a true mystery and has stumped many top professors at universities in China and the USA. It looks like someone's been eating their carrots. Next up is Firestarter. We've all seen the movie Firestarter, where 10-year-old Charlie McGee can set fire to things with her hands. Well, this kid, named Emma Tablate, is the real-life version of Charlie McGee. She's from a remote village in the Philippines. So, what is her superpower? Well, she can set fire to things using her mind. It sounds crazy, but pyrokinesis is a real thing. People realized something was odd when fires began starting wherever she was. At first, she was blamed for using matches to start them, but it was later revealed she was doing it with her mind. Police cornered off her house thanks to how dangerous this could get. As it's so unbelievable, many thought this was a hoax. So the mayor of her town, along with scientists and police, went to her home to check it out. She said she would make something in the home catch fire for them. And as soon as she yelled Sunong, which means fire, a shirt in the house set fire and had to be put out. That's right, not only can she make fire start, but she can also make objects burst into flames. Her village is terrified of Emma and her ability. However, her family and friends say they're not afraid at all. Probably best not to annoy her too much though, you know, just in case. Next up is Super Strong. We've all seen those world records of strongmen who can pull cars with their bodies. Now of course that is amazing, but you know what's more amazing? A 7-year-old boy doing this. That's right, 7-year-old Zhang Jinlong from China is super strong. He can carry his own father and lift heavy stacks of grain on his shoulders. And a few years back, he pulled a 2-ton van filled with people using only his body. He only weighs around 7 stone, but he's still super powerful. He first showed off his incredible strength at the age of just 5. There were some very heavy oil drums in their house, and he began moving them around without trying hard at all. His father says he's proud of his son, and they now train together. Although I think his father's a little bit out of his league, despite him being double his weight. He's only 7 and can already do all these amazing things, so many are expecting him to become the world's strongest man when he's older. This is one name to watch out for down the line. In a few years, this kid will have either become the world's strongest man or will have taken over the world. Hey, you never know, he could turn out to be a supervillain. Next up is Mind Reader. We've all heard of mind readers in movies. You may think this is something you'd never see in reality, but no, this girl is a real-life mind reader. Granted, this girl can only read one person's mind, but nevertheless, it's still amazing. This 9-year-old girl in India can read her mother's thoughts and emotions. She has autism, which some say is the reason why she can read her mother's mind. They first noticed this when they were planning a family event, and Nadana, their daughter, knew about it before they even mentioned it. They then noticed it happened more times and assumed it was a bizarre coincidence. But eventually it got so weird, they brought Nadana to some professionals. They asked her mother, who was in a different room to Nadana, to write down a series of 9 numbers. They then asked Nadana what those numbers were, and she got every single one right in the right order. After that, they asked her mother to think of an object, and she said cookies. They then went to Nadana, and as you've probably already guessed, she said cookies too. This is one amazing girl who is sure to do some amazing things with her powers. But I would be careful what I think if I was her mother. I'm not sure I'd be into the idea of somebody reading all of my thoughts. Next up is Giants. We've already looked at real-life giants in a top 10s video before, but it seems I wasn't doing my job right as I didn't mention this amazing giant. The amazing thing about Giant Brock Brown is that he's only 17. He has a condition that only affects 1 in 150,000 people called giantism. He was a massive 5 feet and 2 inches in kindergarten, and he's still growing. He's currently 7 feet and 8 inches tall and is going up and up. He's the world's tallest teen, and if he continues how he's going now, he could become the world's tallest man, who's only 8 inches taller than him. He's so massive, he doesn't even fit on the furniture in his own family room, meaning his parents have to buy special furniture for him. Despite him being so big, he's not scary at all. And his cousin Savannah says he has a heart as big as his body. Another aspect that makes Brock so amazing is that people with his condition usually don't live for too long. However, he's well into his teens and is still very healthy. He still lives a very happy life in a room which is almost as big as him. It seems there's nothing Brock can't overcome, which really proves he's a superhuman. Next up, we have Baller. Not missing a basket while playing basketball isn't exactly a superpower. Just look at great NBA stars who do this every game. But one person you don't often see doing this is a 4-year-old boy. This kid from Kansas named Titus Ashby began being a basketball pro at just 18 months. He used a kid's basketball net and a regulation ball and never missed at less than 2 years old. He's now 4 and has had the chance to wow American TV audiences with his ball skills. He appeared with Steve Harvey on Little Big Shots and showed off his crazy skills. This involved making many hoops with regulation balls. And no, he didn't miss once. He's also gone viral on YouTube many times when his parents have posted videos of his skills. Could this kid be the next Michael Jordan? Who knows, maybe in a few years everyone will be wearing Ashbys. Next up is backwards. One day when Alyssa Kramer's dad was driving her to school, she began saying gibberish. But he then realized she was simply reading out street signs backwards. He then began to quickly give her words to say backwards and she nailed it every time. She never practiced speaking backwards perfectly and it just comes naturally to her. A few years later, as a teenager, her friend recorded her doing this in a car and posted it to Facebook. It then went viral and boosted Alyssa to fame. She recently appeared on Fox's Superhumans, where she showed off her amazing abilities once again. They gave her very long words to say backwards, trying to see how good she really was. But without breaking a sweat, she was able to rattle off all the words backwards. This power may not be as useful as X-ray vision or super strength, but it sure does entertain her friends, family, and millions of TV viewers. And hopefully the top 10's audience too. Next up is Genius. Elizabeth Garrett is another superchild who has a way with words. While Alyssa Kramer can read words backwards, Elizabeth can read any word. While this is normal for most adults, it's amazing for somebody who's only 17 months old. She could read her first word at 13 months old and went on from there. Her parents are both speech therapists, and her mother credits her speaking to Elizabeth with sign language since she was born as to why she can read so well. I don't see the connection, but hey, she's the scientist. Elizabeth has appeared on the Today Show and read complex books and newspapers easily. Believe it or not, her reading level is actually better than most adults, despite her being so young. Not only that, she knows the capital to every state in America off by heart. I'm not sure when you'd need to know that, but it's still a pretty cool superpower you can show off. And show off she does, as she's appeared in the press many times. She got famous for this back in 2009, so she'll now be around 8 years old. Who knows what she could be working on now? Perhaps writing her own dictionary? Next up is Artie. There are thousands of artists in the world, so when one becomes successful and internationally recognized, it's a big achievement. But an even bigger achievement is to do this at the young age of 9 years old. In 2016, Alita Andre from Australia opened her first solo show of her paintings. Her parents are both artists, and she watched them when she was a baby. Thanks to this, she could paint before she could walk. She developed a love for painting and began making some really interesting pieces. She opened her first solo exhibition in New York in 2011, and it was a big event that people love. One of her paintings recently sold for $3,000 at auction. This prompted some to say it's silly to spend that much money on a painting by a 9-year-old, but maybe they're just being too negative. It looks like Alita Andre is a name to watch out for, as she could become a huge artist as she gets older. Next up is Muscle Boy. When you picture a baby, you think of a few things. They're small and chubby, as they have baby fat. But this was not the case for Liam Heckstra. He was born without any fat, and almost all of his body is muscle. This has led to some calling him a superhero thanks to his super strength. He's not only very strong, but he also looks very muscular. But this isn't from hours in the gym, as he was born without any fat. He could lift 5-pound dumbbells at 3 years old, and at only 6 months of age, he could walk. He has 40% more body muscle than other kids his age, which gives him a big advantage if he ever wants to become a professional strongman. It looks like this kid has done some serious time in time out, but no, he's just got no fat. This isn't all good, however, as it means he has less natural protein as other people. However, he can simply supplement this with more food, so it's safe to say Liam is somewhat of a super kid. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the most amazing kid. I think it's Emma Tablade, because that is one amazing but dangerous power. As I said before guys, be sure to check out the crafty for a shout out at the end of our next video. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.